Hi, my name's Kate. I go by Ghosty online, and today I wanted to make a video talking about something that I kind of touched on in one of my previous videos, just briefly. Um, I just have been experiencing like a lot of burnout recently. Like a lot of the things that I used to enjoy a lot are just not as entertaining or not as enjoyable anymore. And specifically when it comes to things that I have dedicated a lot of time to. And so I don't think it's like, like I don't think it's a depressive mood or anything like that. Like I'm very familiar with that, with what that feels like. Um, but burnout. So like recently, I'm a big gamer. I've always been a big gamer since I was a kid. I especially love like RPG titles, single player titles, but I've always really enjoyed playing games with friends because it's a fun social, interaction. And just recently, I still play games, but I've been taking a major step back. I feel like, just because of this feeling like it's just I'm not getting anything out of it anymore. Like it used to be super enjoyable and fun to um, just sit for hours, and I even played some MMOs. Just literally a game that's designed to just sink time into, to just have something to do, and I did all of those things and enjoyed it for a long time. But just recently, it's just not. It just doesn't hit the same appeal. Like I've even tried, playing new games or games that I haven't played before, games that are new to me, and just getting bored with them really quickly. Like it's been a while since I sat down and fully played through a brand new game that I've never touched. Because I just lose my attention. I guess the last game that I really played through was Elden Ring. And of course, I'm a big Dark Souls. Or I've always been a big Dark Souls fan. And so I've been considering going back to Dark Souls 3. Like I used to have a really impressive Dark Souls 3, run that I would do where I could complete the game really fast. And I enjoyed all of that stuff. But something about it is just not as enjoyable anymore. And maybe it's just because of the frequency, right? Like since I got my diagnosis, since I became sick, I'm capable of doing a lot less. I used to do things outside recreationally, and I can't really do a lot of that anymore. Specifically when it comes to like running, like I used to spend a lot of time working out and running and stuff like that, and I can't do those things anymore. And so those activities got replaced with more gaming. And so I think maybe like what I've been doing recently is I'll play games with Jacob. Of course, I always love playing games with Jacob, but that's really strictly for the social interaction, right? Like it gives us something to talk about and to do together. But otherwise, I really just haven't been playing games. I haven't really tried games recently. I've been going back to some older games that I really enjoyed. Like I recently replayed Fear and Hunger, which is kind of a small title, but that one that I really love. And it just didn't give me the same feeling that I had the first time I played through it. I mean, obviously, it's not a unique experience anymore. And something that Jacob actually said to me the other day, like, really resonated with me. He said, like, I wish I could, that there would be a new game that I haven't played before that would come out that gave me the same feeling that Bioshock gave whenever that came out. And specifically, he was talking about Infinite, but what I was thinking about was the first one. The first Bioshock game like changed my perspective on the world in general. Like it really had a profound impact on me as a young person. And it's been a long time since I played a game that really had a lot of heart and soul to it like that. Had a compelling story, had a good narrative that uh, kind of tried to teach a moral at the end. I guess tried to kind of wake you up. And another interesting thing about Bioshock is, of course, the choices that you make. You actually get to choose between saving and like harvesting the little sisters or whatever, which affects the ending. And playing that as a kid, that was like hugely impactful on me. I did and still do have a really hard time being a bad guy or whatever, being evil in my RPG playthroughs. But it's really cool that they cared, and that was early on. That was like 2007 or 2008 or something. That they cared about that story enough to make it feel like the player had some kind of sway on the world that they lived in and the world that they were playing in. And I don't know. I mean, I even played Baldur's Gate recently, which is like hailed as the number one game now, I guess, in a lot of ways, for being able to make choices and character decisions and dialogues and things like that. And it just didn't really give me that same feeling of immersion and connection with the game. Also, um, the moral of the story of Baldur's Gate kind of falls flat. You get from it what you put into it, right? And that's another really enjoyable aspect of that game. But regardless, yeah, and it's not just about gaming either. That's one thing I wanted to mention. Like, I've been really enjoying my painting. I'm not feeling burnt out on that at all. But I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I was struggling with my writing, and like stories and writing is something that I'm always thinking about, like constantly. Even when I'm asleep, it's something that I'm thinking about. So, I mean, it could be that that mentality has just become like so pervasive in my day to day that it's like I need to find a mindset to break away from it almost. Like I need to figure out what it is that makes that new and interesting to me again. And maybe that's just reading. It probably is just reading. I just need to find a book that I really enjoy and get into. Uh, but yeah, just like feeling burnt out. Like I'm just not enjoying doing a lot of the things that I used to do. And again, I have depression. I've experienced with depression, and it's not that. It's not one of those moods that you get into whenever you're really struggling or whatever, and you just can't do anything. What I know exactly what that feels like. But yeah, I mean, I I guess this is a big part of the reason why I've started doing these videos too. Like I've always been interested in making videos, but also I'm just not gaming the way that I used to. I'm just not picking up games or looking forward to games the way that I used to. Um, Speaking of games, though, I have been getting into Magic MTG a little bit, which has been fun. Um, so that's kind of like a little bit of a breakaway, but still like kind of in the same vein of entertainment and competition and just having good fun with your friends and having a social interaction over a game. It's a game too. And I feel like I kind of enjoy like the board game, card game kind of deal, in a different way to the way that I enjoy gaming. Like on my PC. There's something really special I think about like the tactile, like flipping cards, drawing cards, looking for cards, and of course the art on the Magic cards are fantastic. But that's been like another cure for me recently when it comes to the burnout is just trying new things. Like I watch a lot of YouTube videos or a lot of YouTube creators that started doing Magic, and so I became interested in doing Magic and just started getting into the cards. It's really fun, and even getting into the online game a little bit, playing a little less, but playing just for fun, just trying to pick up a new hobby. And I think that there's something to that. Like there's something important about um, like continually trying to refresh your interests, find new interests. Don't try not to abandon the things that you love and the skills that you've developed, but try to find ways that those skills can kind of navigate you to a different place and to a new space where you're just kind of outside your comfort zone, right? Like that's what becomes when things become interesting, is whenever you finally leave that comfort zone and you say like I'm going to try something new and make myself a little bit uncomfortable. And so yeah, I guess I'm going to be trying to do a little bit more of that. Another thing is like that contributes to the feeling of burning out, I guess, would be that I just haven't been meeting new people. And so new people, new ideas, new discussions, new viewpoints. I think meeting new people can be really beneficial. Um, Again, I struggle with it a lot because I'm very introverted. But I think that's another like main goal for me making these videos. Like I really would like to try to form some kind of community of people that are a little bit like me, like just awkward as hell and kind of trying to like find our place and be more comfortable in our own skin and be supportive of each other. And so ideally that's what would happen from these videos. If that never happens, that's okay. I just kind of enjoy making videos too. Um, but yeah, I think that meeting people can like kind of help contribute to that burnout, like alleviating that feeling of burnout. Um, Not that I know that for sure because I haven't tried it yet, but I'm looking forward to at least looking for new activities to spend my time with. It used to be that I was like working constantly and didn't have time to uh, participate in like any of my hobbies. But now I have like all the time in the world. Money's a little tight, obviously, because I'm not working. But I have all the time in the world. I can do very little besides just kind of sit. Um, and yeah, I just am looking for new things to do. So yeah, hopefully this is like overall a positive message. I don't want to give the impression that like as soon as an activity becomes boring, you just say no, like or boring or hard, right? That's usually what happens is if you're the kind of person who can't stay with something, it becomes boring or hard and you just quit. I don't think that's the right way to do it either. But I think that it can be important to take a step away from the things that you love whenever you feel like they're becoming bland, and try to find a way to make the things that you love feel new again. Anyway, that's been our video for today. Thanks.